Good morning to everyone. I am hoping, I am trusting that you are having a beautiful morning. Today, July 7th, July 22nd, 2024. It has been, very interesting over the weekend. Very unfortunate in local news, though, over the weekend. Based on reports from over the weekend, I know that we have had two homicides. Two homicides. We number 18 and number 19. I do sympathize with the families, persons who have lost loved ones, persons who have been affected, by the loss over the weekend. Our statistics move from 17 to 19. In fact, I have seen statements by the I have heard about a statement by the Prime Minister, mentioned by the Prime Minister. I've seen a statement by the political leader of the People's Action Movement as well. And so, both really speaking about what has happened. And this is 17 hours ago. This is from Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, and it's on Facebook. His Facebook page, it says, and bear in mind that this was written and published 17 hours ago. He says, this morning, I met with the leadership of the police force and the defense force to further renew and construct strategies to deal with crime. Since I was elected Prime Minister, I have spared no resource to deal with this very complex issue. We are preparing for the next step, which is the national consultation on crime and violence based on the principles of public health. For the first time, the Surgeon General of the United States declared that gun violence is a public health crisis in that country, demonstrating that this is a hemispheric problem that goes beyond our borders. As a united people, we can beat this scourge that has been affecting us for decades. And he has hashtag a new day, a better way, hashtag be part of the solution. And so that was a statement from the Prime Minister on his Facebook page. I see also a response in relation to what has happened. It says here from the People's Action Movement, from the death of the political leader Natasha Gray Brooks. It says, the recent tragic murders within our communities have highlighted the urgent need for an effective and comprehensive national security plan. On behalf of the People's Action Movement, I extend our deepest condolences to the families of victims. 2 murders in 3 days, contributing to a total of 19 murders in the first 7 months of 2024, are deeply concerning. While we acknowledge Prime Minister Dr. Drew's recent emergency meeting with the High Command of the Police and Defense Force and his expression of grave concern over the surge in gun-related incidents, we must emphasize the need for immediate action backed by clear short-term goals and solutions. The discussion on increased patrols, strategic deployments, enhanced intelligent operations, and community engagement initiatives is a step in the right direction, but this must be swiftly translated into tangible results. The government must urgently follow through on its commitment to providing the necessary resources to combat this threat and restore peace. The Drew Labour administration government's lack of the Drew Labour government's previous lack of a coherent national plan, a coherent national security plan has left our communities vulnerable. These newly discussed measures must be implemented effectively without delay. The People's Action Movement stands ready to support any initiative that ensures the safety and security of our citizens. We urge the government to maintain transparency and provide regular updates on the progress of these measures. Together, we can create a safer environment for all. And that's from the desk of the political leader of the People's Action Movement. That's a statement from the People's Action Movement. So what I've read already is a statement from the Prime Minister published on his Facebook page about 17 hours ago, and thereafter I read a statement from the People's Action Movement in relation to what has happened over the couple days, and in response to the Prime Minister's statement just posted an hour ago on the People's Action Movement's Facebook page. Yes, we still continue to deal with the issue of crime and violence here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Gun violence has really shaken the country. We are now at number 19, and of course, we hear the actions from we hear the words from the government, but we are hoping that these words translate into action. And based on what the political leader of the People's Action Movement has indicated, tangible results. I think that is what persons are looking for. They're looking for tangible results to what is happening. In addition, we have seen over the weekend President Joe Biden indicating that he will not be seeking re-election in 2024, and he has fully endorsed Kamala Harris, his vice president, to be the presidential nominee for the Democrats, so the Democratic Party there in the United States of America. Most of the focus over the past, well, obviously the focus would have been on, President Biden from the Republican camp. From the media, it would focus heavily on a rematch between President Biden and former President Trump. Now we have heard of President Biden's stating that he's not seeking re-election and fully endorsing his vice president to be the pick for the Democratic Party's presidential nominee. In fact, there has been discussion since then as to what the process would be. Would there be, I think they have been talking about a virtual, pre-virtual convention and then a convention afterwards. And so we have persons, and based on what I have seen from Occupy Democrats,
I think they're foregone that because the recognition is that Kamala is up to date with everything that's going on. She's the vice president,
yes.
So they're saying there's really no need for going through that whole mini.
She has indicated too that despite the endorsement, she is working. She's going to be working for the approval as well.
Yeah. One of the things is the New York Post, right?
Yes.
It's owned by the provocateur who owns Fox News, an Australian who should have never been given American citizenship to set up Fox News and buy the Washington the Wall Street Journal and all this, and poison American politics. He's the reason. Rupert Murdoch is the reason why is a big part of the reason why American politics is the way it is right now. His New York Post. I read an article yesterday.
Go ahead.
And the article is because Obama put out a statement, and Obama didn't explicitly endorse Kamala Harris, which is not the same as saying he's not endorsing her. He just hasn't done it yet. He tends to be he tends to be a very cautious operator and politician. So I think all it is that he was trying to be not to be presumptuous, but they are spinning it to make it seem as though he doesn't want.
And I've heard persons, as you say, I've heard persons indicate, oh, well, the Obamas have not supported her. I think when that statement was made, you read what former President Obama former President Obama indicated. You read that. You read his statement. And I think for the moment, he just wanted to give President Joe Biden his moment, in terms of
exactly.
This is a man who has
step on any toes. Just say,
he has stepped down.
But they want to spin it like, because when I saw what happened, I remember I was on my iPad at the time, right? And I saw the notification come up, and the notification said, Obama has not. And just to where the boiler, I was like, what do you mean Obama has?
And they go on.
And then when I go to read the article now, I realize what they're trying to do.
And some critiques have said, well, former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, has not endorsed her. And I said, you still have time to go. I think many persons, and we look at the heavyweights, yes, we had President Obama. We see persons have indicated that behind the scenes, perhaps there was discussion previously by these two individuals about, President Joe Biden reconsidering his choice of not stepping down previously. Remember, he was saying he's not going anywhere, and there was an interview after he said that he was not going anywhere, and a former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, was on that, and she said, well, he has to make a decision soon. And persons were saying, well, I think he's already made a decision. The fact that she's saying, well, he has to make a decision soon, indicates that there's still discussion going on. And obviously, from the action, there was discussion going on.
And listeners, for full, just for full disclosure, I actually wanted him to stay. Actually, AZ thought that I would have been glad. No, I'm the opposite. I wanted him to stay in.
I came here this morning and I said, Jamsa, look, Kamala Harris is based on what
which
is
is
going on.
Which is not the same as not being supporting Kamala.
Yeah, I understand that. But but you have always said, no, I review in my mind statements that you've said in the past. You have always said that you don't think that the one debate determines his competence.
Yeah.
But I think that it's more than just the debate. I think there were things going on behind the scenes that we weren't privy to, and very much frank and clear discussions that we weren't privy to. The fact that we had so many persons who are Democrats came out publicly.
You are growing in leaps and bounds in political sharpness.
Oh, I thank you. So I said to myself that, there's more than meet the eye. And the fact that a lot of persons have been saying, well, she's not going to be the presidential nominee for the Democrats. And you have the president endorsing her. That's heavy. And based on commentary, and because I've been listening back and forth since the announcement, and based on commentary, I thought to myself, what's heavier than the current president endorsing you? Also, there is information from Occupy Democrats that says that in that short span of time, a lot of sponsors have been coming on board,
and they raised a lot of money.
They raised a lot of money
in just short space of time. Apparently more than they did, and they had impressive fundraising numbers between now and January, and she broke them yesterday.
Yeah, and in addition to that, you have persons who are saying, well, she's not going to be it. They're going to be somebody else, and maybe she's going to be on the ticket, but not as the presidential nominee. And I said to myself, really, are you looking at the news? No. Because look at the fact that she has a lot of persons who could have challenged her as saying that they are in support of her. You look at the various governors from the various states who might have posed a challenge, and they're saying that they're sticking with her. In fact, I think what now has to happen is that the Democrats should get a solid VP that would balance out the aspects, complement Mrs. Harris. They need a VP that will complement her in every way and to strengthen the ticket, because then it's when you're voting for president, you're not only voting, yes, you vote for the president, but you're voting for the vice president as well. And persons, I think in this election, the vice presidential pick goes a long way and is significant.
Yes, it does. They've actually kind of narrowed it down to two people, and the person that seems to be who might get the nod is Mark Kelly, former fighter pilot and an astronaut, and the wife of not the wife, the husband, the husband of you remember Gabby Giffords that had gotten shot. In Arizona, where they're from. And apparently the two of them are really close, and so
I still think that she's going to come out. Persons are saying, well, we have to wait and see. Yes, we do have to wait and see, but I think if we look at what's going on and we read between the lines, I think she's going to be the choice. I would be surprised if she's not. And even when persons were talking about Joe Biden stepping down, persons were skeptical as to whether or not he would endorse her. And I thought to myself, why wouldn't he? I mean, at this point in choice, he selected us his VP.
All that has to happen. They're gonna have to pick a nice, safe white guy to let. Hey, it is what it is. That's gonna assuage the fears of the irrational fears, I might add, of
and
majority
there were
population.
polls coming in that indicated, that the states, the swing states that Joe Biden did well in were possibly not going to be in his favor a couple months from now, because they were looking, a little sketchy.
Yeah, if he had stayed.
Yeah. So hopefully, and again, the debate, I know we have traffic talk and we're going to get right into it. I know the debate had been between two elderly persons. Now you have a younger person and a older person.
Can you imagine the smackdown when Kamala? Listen, this is a prosecutor. Huh?
Yeah.
So
against somebody who has
much
been
younger than him
before the court and prosecuted.
Imagine if she says to him, guess who's the old one now? Something like.
But I think she has shown in the past that she can be a very thorough prosecutor, and I think I'm looking forward to the debate. I'm really looking forward to the debate between her and former President Trump. I'm looking forward, and I think that would
he's scared now.
Go a long way. And remember, abortion rights have been foremost a discussion in the United States, and her being a woman, her being pro-choice, and her being able to give that approach, a standpoint, I think it'll go a long way. It's interesting times ahead.
I wanted to go Rottweiler on that ass in the debate.
It's going to be interesting times ahead.
Donald
and
Trump.
Then what you have to understand too is that for the couple of times the Republican Party had been focusing on Joe Biden. Now they have to, not that they've not been preparing for if there's a change, but a lot of it would have been on Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Now they would have to change gears in 4 months from approximately 4 months from the election.
Okay, 8:33. We're gonna go to traffic talk in a bit.
Yes.
Morning, Sophia.
Good morning, Sergeant Henry. How are you doing? Wonderful morning to you. We're gonna get back. I'm gonna talk about traffic.
Is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode. Attention all drivers, I'm begging you to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, down. Too many stunt drivers on the road, man.
And that's a theme song for traffic talk. And by the way, we have the results from the semis for the Kaiso Fiesta in the US. I will share those after traffic talk.
Yes.
Also, soca results from Antigua, and I should be getting the soca results semis as well from Nevis, from Tebulus. So Tebulus, if you're listening, please send me the how is it I'm getting the Antigua soca semis results and not Nevis. But anyway, Tebulus is my boy, so I know he's gonna hook me up. Sophie, what's up?
I'm fine, thank you, Jamson. How are you?
I'm good.
So, Officer Henry, Sergeant Henry, what is on your mind this morning? What do you want us to talk about? What do you want to inform the public about?
I'll be speaking on mobile phone. Last week, someone called in and they asked a question: if they're in the traffic light and the light is red, can they use their phone? I told them yes, but it was wrong. It's an offense to be using your phone while at a stop, a junction. The only time you can use your phone if you pull over and you park. Because once you're in the traffic light waiting, you're still driving.
And you have to be vigilant. And you have to be vigilant.
Pardon?
And you have to be vigilant.
Yes. So I was wrong when I answered that person. So I just want to correct it this morning. So as long as you're in the traffic light or you're waiting for the traffic light to turn green, you cannot use the phone, even if you're in a junction. So this morning I'll be talking about mobile phone and the Vehicles and Road Traffic Act, Chapter 15.06, number 64. 1. A person shall not drive a motor vehicle while using a mobile phone unless that person has complied with such condition as may be prescribed by the minister.
Sophie, could you just give the name of the law and start reading it again?
The Vehicles and Road Traffic Act, Chapter 15.06, Regulation 64, subsection 1. A person shall not drive a motor vehicle while using a mobile telephone unless that person has complied with such condition as may be prescribed by the minister. And the only time someone can use the telephone while they are driving, a person does not contravene these regulations if he or she is using the telephone or a handheld device to call the police, the fire service, ambulance, or other emergency service. He or she is acting in response to a genuine emergency. These are the only time while you're driving you can use your telephone.
So let me just ask a clarifying question here. So let's say I happen to be driving and there's a situation where I need to call the police, but maybe I can't stop, or maybe depending on the distance, and you know what, damn, I need to call the police, and maybe I'm driving still. That's okay.
Yes, once
okay.
You can multitask.
Once it's calling, yeah, okay.
Yes, because some people cannot multitask. Yes. So you might be on the phone, but you're still driving, and then when look, something happen, you get an accident. But once you can do it without causing an accident, that's the only time you exempted.
Yeah.
Right. And the risk of mobile phone using while driving. Using any phone while driving is dangerous. Driving is highly complex task requiring a person's full attention. Any error can be catastrophic. Drivers who talk on the phone, both hands-free and handheld, are 4 times more likely to be in a crash resulting in injuries. And as researchers said, for instance, researchers estimate that just 50 minutes of phone chatting per month leads to a 5-fold increase in likelihood of crash. The distraction caused by reaching for and dialing a telephone takes the driver's attention away from the road, posing a serious hazard. So as Gumbs was saying, he's driving and he wants to make a call. Yes, once you can do so without any obstruction or anything, yes. But if you cannot do it, you wait until you can pull over and you make that call. The primary impairment that the drivers face from using the phone behind the wheel is the mental distraction from the risks from the driving task. Researchers also have shown that after using your phone, it takes a half a minute to regain full attention. During time you're driving is impaired. So when you're driving, it takes a half a minute for you to regain your attention. Speaking on a hand-free phone poses a similar level of risk to speaking on a handheld phone, as mental distraction is the main impairment of phone used behind the wheel. Drivers using a hand-free phone still suffer from what is known as inattention blindness. Yes, so sometimes you might have your earpiece and you think, okay, I can talk on it, but sometimes it takes away attention. It distracts you from the road. So if you cannot do it, don't do it. It has been argued that talking on a phone is no different to talking to a passenger. However, research has found drivers talking to passengers are less at risk than drivers on a phone. It is theorized by researchers that conversation with passengers are modulated because both the drivers and passengers can see what is happening on the road. So we might be talking, yes, but I still have attention on the road. So if anything happens, I can alert the driver. But if you're alone in your vehicle and you're driving and you're on the phone, you're so taken up in your conversation that you won't even notice what is in front of you. So it's more likely that when you're driving, it is much less hazardous when you're a passenger in the vehicle talking. But sometimes the conversation might be so sweet that you don't even remember, you don't even know what's going on outside. So sometimes you can also get in an accident while chatting to a passenger in your vehicle. It is illegal to use a handheld phone while driving, even if stopped or queuing in a traffic, as I said just now. So if you're queuing in a traffic and you stop, it is illegal for you to use your phone. So the call who called last week, I sorry to tell you about yes, but it is no. So I just want to correct myself. The only time you are permitted to use a handheld phone as if you are safely parked or if you need to call an emergency service. So that's the only time you can use your telephone or if you're parked. So if you get a call, as you know, all phones have call logs. So once you're safely parked, you can always go back in your phone and see who's calling. You don't have to take up your phone and, no. You get somewhere to park safely and you see who's calling, and then you make that call.
You should do like me and say, will it kill you to wait until you get to where you're going to check the phone? I say you should say like me. Will it kill you to wait until where you're going to check the phone? But that's what I tell people.
Yes. We need people to realize the tragedy that can inflict in a fleeting moment and stop people using a mobile phone when their eyes and minds should be on the road. So your eyes and your mind should be on the road instead of on your phone.
There's a question here. What about distractions from loud music in the vehicle?
Well, we don't have anything on the books right now.
Okay.
But I know shortly something will be coming about loud music. Because up to Saturday, I came out my gate to go, and this vehicle stopped right in front of me, in front of my driver, because something was in front of him. And the music is so loud. I was hello, hello, and then after I said hello, he looked. I said, you can't hear if anything happening around you. Because he actually have his speaker
and
on the window out.
And he also goes to hearing loss as well. Hearing loss and noise pollution.
You can't, if somebody telling you something is happening, you cannot hear.
Yeah, I often wonder if they are not concerned, those persons are not concerned about their hearing capabilities in the future, especially as they age.
Because if you're driving, nobody wants to know what you're playing in your music in your vehicle. Why you want somebody outside to know what you're playing? That is for you alone, not you and the public.
They play it loud enough so others can hear, others who aren't in the vehicle.
Not interested.
I never get it. But there are persons who feel that we are supposed to hear what they're playing as well.
It's wild to me that somebody's playing music in the vehicle and I can hear it from a block away.
Yeah.
And you're wondering, does this person have ears? You know?
And usually when you could when you could hear it, you could see the vibration of the glass, and you just because they have plenty bass in there. You're wondering if you could feel what you're feeling from out here and hear what you're hearing from out here. Imagine being in that vehicle.
Exactly, in an enclosed space.
So all those are distractions.
You want to take a call, Sophie?
Sure.
Hi, caller. Go right ahead. Traffic Talk. Hello? Okay, seems as though the phones. Okay, I'm going to have to, okay, go ahead. We don't seem to be getting any luck with the phone.
Yeah.
Yes. So as I was saying, no person shall use a mobile telephone or a handheld device. So even a tablet, you should not be driving and using a handheld device. All those are illegal on the books. And it said a person who acts in manner contrary to subsection 1 commits an offense, and is liable on summary conviction to a fine not exceeding $1,000. So once you're being convicted, you can pay up to $1,000. The ticket for driving while using mobile phone is $150. So if you get a ticket and you fail not to pay it and you go before the court, the magistrate can charge you up to $1,000 just for that $150 ticket.
So, as we have the officer here with us, Sergeant Henry, she is informing us as to who the regulations, rules, the laws as it pertains to the use of mobile phones on the road, and also too, she has provided statistics to show how mobile use while driving affect the driver and induces the occurrence or encourages, accidents to come to arise, because she speaks about distractions. She speaks about the fact that even if you're having conversation with a passenger, you are less likely to be in an accident as opposed to having conversation with someone on the phone, because the passenger is there, and usually quite often the passenger is looking at the road as well and is able to give you, the driver, some indication of trouble ahead if there is.
And those persons who drive while distracted by a mobile phone device put themselves and others at risk of death, injury, and permanent damage. Because a pedestrian could be crossing, you're on your phone, you ain't the pedestrian because you're so taken up in your conversation, you can cause either death or injury to that person. So persons who like to drive and use their telephone, yes, I know we want to have our vehicle dark tinted because the officers can't see when on my phone, but that could cause a serious injury to someone while you're driving and using your phone.
Yeah.
Recently, the biggest distraction for drivers is using smartphone to send text messages or to interact with others through social media. People fail to realize the danger that are associated with distracted driving. Once you're distracted and you're driving, anything can happen. You can lose concentration, you lose control of the vehicle, and you get in an accident. James, any call?
None at the moment. I'm actually trying. I'm trying to call to get the phone reset because it seems as though it may have been down since Friday. Remember Friday we were trying to take calls
and we couldn't get calls. Yeah. So, officer, if there's anything you'd like to say, as if there's further words or a conclusion you'd like to give, then we can open it up to have those.
Let me ask a question.
Okay.
This is slightly off topic, but why don't you guys have traffic police deployed at, let's say, the bus terminal, especially the one on the Wellington Road? I keep seeing bus drivers packed outside, waiting for people. The government spent all that money on a bus terminal, and they still insist on parking on Wellington Road. Why can't we have a traffic officer deployed there at certain times to make sure that the bus drivers park where they're supposed to park and wait for passengers where they're supposed to be waiting? And as a result, you have passengers sitting outside. I think if the bus drivers knew that they're going to be fined for not using the bus terminal, people would just sit in the bus terminal and wait and wait for the bus. Because I just find it, I just don't understand, because these very same people, they go to other countries and they follow the laws. They follow the regulations. I mean, in Toronto, I couldn't sit outside. I can't sit outside the bus terminal or the subway and wait for it. I have to go inside. I don't understand it. I don't understand why this obsessive love of shortcuts I mean, would it kill you to just walk into the bus terminal and sit down and wait for a bus? And would it kill the bus drivers to actually just drive into the bus terminal rather than obstructing the roadway? I don't understand it.
There's a traffic warden there daily. According to what time you're talking about?
Well, it happens a lot in the evenings and in the night, and
In the evening,
sometimes
because
and
the
sometimes
traffic
in
warden
the
will turn off around 6 o'clock.
yeah. But
only.
then shouldn't we have traffic wardens or traffic working
But you have
most of
police
a
officer
24
will
hours,
drive around.
most of
Up to
a
last week,
24
Friday
hour
already,
cycle? Yeah.
Ready up to Friday last evening.
I mean, that, let's face it, that's not really an 8 to 4 job. You should have shifts
Yeah,
that.
but you have office up to 6 o'clock, a traffic warden up there until about 6.
Yeah, but maybe there should be another one until 12, maybe. I'm just saying.
Traffic warden. A police officer, but police will drive around. But you know, by the time the police come around, but once the officers see that a passenger jump in that bus, the driver can be ticketed.
But y'all need, but I feel like, I feel like y'all neglect a lot of income generation, because my thing is, if people are not going to follow the regulations, well, fill up the treasury then.
Well, we try our best, Jamster. We do. We out there. But you know, sometimes we're going to be out there, and as soon as you turn off, things happen, because sometimes we're driving and persons on Wellington Road. I will stop, even if I'm in my private vehicle, and tell them, you cannot stay here. This is not a parking area.
So then you guys should have a traffic warden and or traffic cop there most of the time then. Because it's a main roadway. I mean, why are the buses blocking up the road?
Jamster,
You know?
you'll always have lawless persons in certain countries. Some people going to buy it and some won't. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? You?
Not for me. I think we've had a nice discussion.
I always think of things. Sometimes I'm like in town and I say, oh, I have to raise this with Sophia, and then I come and forget. No, sometimes I see stuff and I say, oh, I have to remember that too, and then I always forget.
But then you should call me.
I like that. I like
Yes, you
that.
should call me at the
Why
moment.
put off for tomorrow what you can do today?
Call me, you won't
Yes.
forget.
Yes.
True.
Because even sometimes I'm in the supermarket and somebody will say, officer, I know this is not the time, but, and they will tell me whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I answer them, I listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So
Yes.
once you call me Jamster,
Okay.
I will respond to you.
Oh, question. Progress report on the new traffic department. When is it going to be finished?
I can't say.
You don't know
The
yet.
building,
Yeah.
I can't say.
Okay.
But you know, as of Saturday, it was what I must say. It was going
Going good.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it's good to see that, and I actually think that's a really good place to, because you have easy egress,
And parking.
and parking to and from, and space to impound vehicles as well.
Well, we can't impound. We can remember there usually it's still the training school.
Well, hopefully people. I mean, you tow somebody's vehicle there.
Well, we told the
You
vehicle
pretty
to
much
take them
show
up
up
to the
next
camp.
morning
We
to
tell
pay.
them take them up to Springfield.
Oh, that's what you.
Send
Oh, that's what you.
events
Oh,
bus,
okay.
yes.
I didn't realize that. Okay. Yeah. So, anything else on the phone and new technology front that you want to admonish people
I
to
just want to
refrain
let the
from?
drivers know, when you're driving and engage in any activity that takes your attention away from the road, can be dangerous to you and other around you on the roadway. So once you're driving and you get a call, please wait until you can park safely and answer that call or call back the person. Do not drive and talk on your telephone. Using that mobile phone while driving can be very dangerous and can lead to accidents that cause injuries or even death.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So
Yes, Jamster.
at this time, we want to thank you, officer, for being a part of the program here this morning. We've had a wonderful talk on the traffic. and the use of cell phones while driving.
Yes.
What could be what could be the result? And based on the statistics you have given and based on what you have given, we are encouraging persons not to do both. Don't drive and use the phone.
And for heaven's sake, use your indicators.
James.
Use an indicator for what?
When you're turning.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Signal.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
James just had to put
And
something
that's
out
why we should not drive too close behind
there. Each
on the
other.
person who in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So even if I don't use my signal, my turn signal, you have enough time to not I'm turning. Which you should use the turn signal, but let's stay a car length behind
I
each
agree.
other.
Yes.
Because I think as much information transmitted to other drivers, it's important. Even when I'm going around it roundabout, let's say if I'm coming
Mm-hmm.
east from, let's say I just passed the Defense Force, right?
Yeah.
And I get to the roundabout. I put on my right indicator to let the person know I'm going. And then when I turn, I put it left. I switch on to left again.
You
I
always
feel
indicate.
Yeah, I feel it's important that people know what you're doing, so you don't
Once
have
you use the turn signal.
you don't
Yes.
have you
so
know.
you avoid any casualties,
Yes,
any
exactly.
impact.
Mhm.
Anyway, we'd like to conclude. At this point, I'll have to leave as well. And I do wish everybody a wonderful day. Jamster, take it away.
And our traffic talk brought to you by Caribbean Alliance Insurance. And Sophie, we look forward to seeing you next week.
Indeed.
Okay.
Comes to the important things in life: your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider. Only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
If you need insurance, our service is the best. Home motor insurance can give you more for less. Property insurance can save you a lot of stress. At TVC Insurance Company Limited, we care about your investment. Guarantee you peace of mind. The best team in the business. Guarantee you peace of mind. No other company will. Guarantee you peace of mind. Together we'll succeed and guarantee you peace of mind. TDC Insurance Company Limited, where you get more coverage for less.
Okay, so we are back, and I'm trying to get the phones reset. So I had promised last week I would let you guys hear, though I asked the fans commentary, from last week, and I'm going to use that time to try and get the phones reset. But I'm also going to give you guys want to give you guys some results first from there were the Soca semis at the National Bank Soca Monarch semis held in Nevis on Saturday, and there was also the Kaiso semis held as well. The Kaiso semis was sponsored by TDC, Nevis, Bank of Nevis, and so on. So I give you the Kaiso Fiesta finalists. So last night, here's what happened. Let's see. So our 10 finalists are King Astro. He got that's top of the pile, 476 points. Empress Lyrics, 469. Is that 409? What's that? Okay, yeah, 469. King This and That, 464. Nutsy, 463. Invincible, 450. Murray, 439. Suki, 438. Lady Destiny, 435. Daddy Fresh Cole, 432. And the alternate is Lady Smooth with 430 points. Yeah, so the top three for the Culturama Kaiso Fiesta, we got Astro, Empress Lyrics, and King This and That. Okay. And we're going to move on to, I also have the Antigua Soca semis as well. I'll give you those. And thanks, Tabulous, for sending me the Soca semi results. Okay, so the Soca semi results, the National Bank Soca Monarch results. So on the groovy side, Delhi Ranks, so Delhi Ranks is the reigning monarch for the groovy side, and on the power side, Daddy Tusty is the ruling monarch. So the persons who made it through to the finals are as follows: at the top of the heap, Empress with 316 points, Speedy 315, Easy 306, Rocco Dan 291, Pakis 275, Daddy Tusty 273, Ras Brown 271, and Climate, he's the alternate, with 266 points. So those are the groovy Soca Monarch finalists. They're going to be trying to wrest the crown from Delhi Ranks, who is the reigning groovy Soca Monarch. On the power side, the ruling power Soca Monarch is Daddy Tusty, and the biggest score on Saturday was Big Six with 292 points. Ras Brown and Rockadan 288 points. Climate 275 points. Empress 272. T-Bone 268. Jeezy Sparta 263. Invincible 255, and Ras Kelly 255. So those are your National Bank Soca Monarch finalists for Culturama 2024. Sounds good. Okay, so I'm gonna be trying to get the phones reset. In the meantime, I'm gonna let you hear Dwyer Asafan's commentary from last week, which I thought had some good points, and which I think can also spark a discussion this morning after we get the phones reset. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so
greetings.
Here we
Today
go.
we shift gears and we discuss the selection of Mikhail and Jeremiah Louis, the brothers, to the West Indies cricket team and related matters. On the broader scale, I'd like us to discuss how we honor or do not honor, as the case may be, our great cricketers and other sports persons, and indeed our achievers in all walks of life. West Indies was awarded Test status in 1928, and St. Kitts cricket and our people were kept in the wilderness for 96 years before we would get our first pick. And when we got one, we got two. The Louis brothers. Mikhail is the first selection and Jeremiah is the second. And Mikhail is the first to play in a test match. And look where he made his debut last Wednesday, July 10th, 2024, at Lord's, the most famous cricket venue on the planet. He scored 27 runs, which was top score in the first innings, and 14 in the second. I was impressed with his technique and composure, and I'm confident that, God willing, he will grow into an excellent international batter. I'm also impressed with him in front of the microphone. This is obviously a sensible, articulate, well-measured, and gracious young man, a well-prepared young man, and I believe he can be the West Indies captain in 5 years' time. Praise, appreciation, and respect are due to him and Jeremiah, and to the appearance and the other persons who've been there for them over the years, guiding them along. Mikhail's achievement has been recognized by the government in the form of a cash grant, I'm told, a piece of land, and having a stand or a section of a stand at Warner Park named in his honor. I don't know what the government has in store for Jeremiah and for others to come, because I'm told that over the next 4 to 5 years, we can see 2 or 3 more Kittitians getting onto the West Indies team. This achievement by the Louis brothers, with their strong family support structure, provides a classic example, first, of the importance of responsible and purposeful parenting and guardianship in the molding and development of our young people. Second, of the benefits that flow not only to the children of the family, but also to the entire nation. And third, of the need for decision makers and for ourselves, the people, to do all that we can to encourage and facilitate positives in our children and strong and purposeful family and other social structures in our society. This is the foundation for the development of a nation, the cornerstone of the sustainable island state that we claim that we want in St. Kitts and Nevis. And as we reflect on the success of the Louis family, as we reflect on the feast that they have provided for us after 96 years of undeserved famine, and as we reflect on the honor and the joy that they have brought to us all, I also wonder how many other talented young people may have missed out on high achievement over the years because they were not brought up in a sufficiently supportive and molding home and broader community. But even in the case of others who may have been blessed with responsible home environments, we can list a number of great Kittitian cricketers of the past who, talented and deserving as they were, never made it to the West Indies team. For example, stars like Lawrence Acrobat Rawlings, George McMahon, Austin Eddy, Leonard Harris, Leroy Khoury, Edgar Gilbert, Auckland Hector, Victor Eddy, Luther Kelly, Sherlin Williams, Noel Gishad, and Livingston Harris, to name just some. They were never given the chance to shine in the regional and global firmament. And while we examine the fabric of the home environment and try to make it better, and while we also, and justifiably so, scold West Indies cricket selectors over the years, and while we scold, and justifiably so, regional sports persons for ignoring, neglecting, and respecting our talent over the decades. It must also be said that there have been characters holding positions of influence in the game, both here and in the leewards, on and off the field, who once they made sure that they were comfortably perched, preferred to kick down the ladder to greatness for our players than to help the players up the ladder. They found validation for themselves in the free trips, the free hotels, the free food, the Johnny Walker whiskey, the hanging out with big shots, and so forth. They preferred to do those things than to serve faithfully and diligently in the development of our cricketers and our cricket, and through the game, our region. I don't know what the cricketers and people have done to these individuals over the years to deserve such treatment or ill treatment. And I must also say that successive political administrations have not demonstrated the appreciation of and the respect for our high achievers of the past and the immense value of these achievers to our nation psychologically, socially, and economically. Look how little has been done to honor these high achievers. And there are many in all areas of human endeavor. Let's look at cricket. How many of those stars of the past have anything in Warner Park or anywhere else named in their honor? Yes, we have the Edgar Gilbert Park in Molyneux, the Len Harris Academy at Warner Park. But what about all of those other achievers? What about all of those other venues? What about our netball stars, footballers, volleyballers, basketballers, golfers? In track and field, we have the Kim Collins Stadium, the Kim Collins Highway, and Kim Collins Day. But how much benefit have we generated as a country from the fame and achievement of Kim Collins? Have we generated enough? My answer is no. No administration has agreed. I tried when I was Minister of Tourism to appoint Kim Collins as a tourism and goodwill ambassador for the country. Richards does it for Antigua. Sobers used to do it for Barbados. I think Bolt and Shelley and Fraser do it for Jamaica. We don't do it for our own. So while we're busy pointing fingers at outsiders for neglecting us and disrespecting us, what have we been doing to our own? We have so many old and new streets, housing settlements, and other areas. How many of these things have been named after our outstanding achievers, whether in sport, entertainment, or generally? Have their stories been told to the children in our schools? Have their legacies and the inspiration from them been recognized and utilized by successive administrations? No. And let me expand. When I say stars of the past, I include officials, ground staff, commentators, supporting individuals and businesses, and super fans like Lulu from the village and Carlton DuPont. And by the way, Carlton is in England right now, supporting and cheering on not only the Louis brothers, but the whole West Indies team. Let us understand the power of excellence in sports and the arts. For example, hardly anybody in China will know who the Prime Minister of Jamaica is. But I'm pretty sure that they know Usain Bolt and Bob Marley. How many people in India know the name of the Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister? But I'm pretty sure they know Viv Richards, Andy Roberts, and Curtly Ambrose. How many people in Europe and North America know the name of the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis? But I bet you a lot of them know Kim Collins and Ellie Matt. And now the King of England, Charles, the titular head of the British government. He knows the Louis brothers. He met them at Buckingham Palace. And they all had a jolly old laugh together. Ha ha. And I'm pretty sure that meeting people in so-called high places will not cause these two young men to ever lose the common touch. So let's expand now to all spheres of human activity. We have the National Honours Act. But let us be brutally honest. Apart from the fact that some of the decisions made under that act over the years have been little more than an assault on common sense and reason and on honor itself. The act, even if well administered, is not enough. Do we have a sports hall of fame? Are there annual awards and induction events to keep the torch of inspiration and positivity and legacy burning? We're talking about building the fabric of our society by cherishing and appreciating and learning from our own. Are our communities organized so that a strong second ring of support around the family is firmly in place? And communities too can have their annual events to honor and celebrate their community members and their achievements. Nation building, sustainable island state, it starts from the home and it radiates out. But the process must be encouraged and supported and facilitated by all of us. Is this not the best, perhaps the only way to becoming a truly sustainable island state? If we do not put effort, discipline, civic consciousness, reward and honor at the heart of our national strategic action plan, then we have no national strategic action plan. And how many of our leaders and ourselves understand and act as if sport is a vital, personal, human, economic, and national development tool? How many of us see it in that light? How many of us see this thing as a business? Look at how well international cricketers do. Track stars, footballers, professional athletes. We have a talented gene pool here, both in sports and entertainment. But I'll expand. In every sphere of human activity, we need to capitalize on that. But capitalizing on it begins with appreciating what we have and nurturing it. Building a society rather than sitting and watching a society fall apart. And with our heroes and role models raised high, where they should be. How many of us are seeing the inspiration that will generate and lead to its own continuation? Positive reinforcement all the way. Who are our heroes? 5 politicians? Come on. Who are our role models and sources of pride and inspiration? Can we and our children call the names of the persons who have so outstandingly carried the torch for us in bygone days? Do their names and accomplishments mean anything to us in our minds and hearts? If not, then we are by choice without roots. And I say by choice because the roots are there to ground us and to allow us to project into the future solidly and gracefully. If only we wish to be grounded, not like driftwood on a stormy sea, headed wherever the sea carries us. But many of us don't wish to be grounded in our own traditions and our own story. So, like the driftwood, we drift through life as cultural nomad, making little or no difference or positive impact. We are letting ourselves and our nation go astray because we are missing out on the basics. The Louis family did not miss out on the basics. Are our sports and other complexes and sections of them, are our facilities, our playgrounds, our parks, our high-profile events, our streets, our rooms in schools and hospitals and government offices, are they named in honor of our achievers in all walks of life, whose labors need to be cemented into our culture and memorialized and emblazoned across history, so that our children and generations to come will stand on the shoulders, will feel the inspiration and confidence of knowing how proud their heritage is, and get a sense of comfort as to who they are. As our country emerges, its personality emerges as an energetic, self-appreciating and self-respecting little nation of high achievers. Respect for self generates respect from others. A little food for thought. The Drew administration can consider doing a project designed to do all of what I've just said. Research the names and achievements of citizens who have excelled in the various areas. Garbage men, track stars, teachers, everybody. Seamstresses, fishermen, everybody. Engage the public in the process. Create the energy from that. Give the public ownership of the process. And let us start honoring our people, naming our streets, having ceremonies, and naming all of these other things. This is so necessary. I can't find words to properly describe it. And so exciting. It's time to do something. And I hope that the Louis family can be used as a template and an inspiration for all of us to achieve what we need to achieve in order to reach where we can reach. Thank you.
Okay, that's our Do I Ask the Fans commentary from last Wednesday. A long listen, but I think that was something that we all needed to hear. I'm still gonna try and get the phones, sorted. So I'm gonna let you guys listen to some Kulturama Kaiso in the meantime. Here's Chaplet. He's safely into the finals. Something called Can't Blame Satan. I'll be hoping to be able to take your calls right after this. So here we go.
This is the King Chaplet. Can't blame Satan. No. Some people just wicked and bad mind. Some people would rather live a life of crime instead of simply getting by with truth and honesty. They lie and cheat, commit murder for notoriety. Then when they do until they end up in the prison, they hold their head and bawl and blame Satan. But listen, if Satan come and tell it to you, then you go and do what he say do. Can't blame Satan for that. If you decide to commit a crime just because you follow your mind, can't blame Satan for that. If you don't change your ways and repent before too late, at the end of your days, you won't enter heaven's gate. Instead, you'll end up in the fire in hell with Lucifer. And can't blame Satan for that either. Can't blame Satan. No way. The problem is man. Man would get full up with jealousy. Take their good friends and make them enemy. And then later when they start feeling lonely and depressed, they start to wonder if it's Satan causing the distress. But if they ask me the question, this is what I will opine. They better ask the Lord to fix their mind. Because if Satan come and tell it to you, then you go and do what he say do. Can't blame Satan for that. No way. If you decide to commit the crime just because you follow your mind, can't blame Satan for that. Listen, if you don't change your ways and repent before too late, at the end of your days, you won't enter heaven's gate. Instead, you'll end up in the fire in hell with Lucifer. And can't blame Satan for that either. Can't blame Satan. No.
926, that's Chaplet. Can't blame Satan.
No way.
Well, the Calypsonians safely into the finals. And pleased to let you know that the phones are back up. So let's go straight to the phone lines. I saw a bunch of calls coming in about a minute ago. So I think my listener will be pleased to know that the phone lines are working once again. Hi, caller, go right ahead.
Yeah, good morning, man.
Hey, what's up?
Day, man.
What's up?
Yeah, you still under player commentary, right?
Hmm?
That's correct, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whatever, anything you want to
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about. Yeah, but
Yeah, man. That's why I come at you, man. It's right on target, man. I agree totally with, man, all of what he said. All 100%. I have voiced like my opinion on some stuff, especially on the Nevis side concerning this cricket thing. Really and truly, man, the guy Troy Biff, I would like to get a hold of him, man. To give him some ideas and to have a conversation with him. The guy, Louis' brother, Jeremiah, right?
yeah.
What I believe that well, actually, did you get any information? There was a second game played in England already, right? Or is it
Yeah, I know Biff.
progress?
The last thing Biff told me was that it was looking as though Jeremiah was going to be able to play as well. That's what I was told, but I don't know.
Yeah. We need to get that information.
Yeah,
Based on that poor performance on that first game, Jeremiah should be inserted into the 11. Not he should get a chance to play now. And me personally, I want to get that information right away, because what I was gonna say is that Troy Biff, he definitely should have pushed. And I know he's pushing us. I know he's doing that. He should try to make a recommendation for Jeremiah to get in that 11th man squad to play, so he can get into the game. Okay, let me go past that. We'll get that information shortly. But a lot of the things that Dwyer has said, man, he's really on point.
exactly.
Me, I want to focus in on two past cricketers, Livingston Sargent and Derek Parry. Right now, I'm understanding that there might be a mural going up in Charlestown on the E.T. Willett Park, on the walls of that E.T. Willett Park. And I'm not on the ground, and I haven't clarified this yet. I don't know whose pictures are up there. I got a clip from somebody, and one person that I recognized was Strutt Williams. And Strutt has a street that's named after him somewhere up in town area. And I believe that guy Carl took it as well. But in my area, in St. Thomas's district, because the NIA, the CCM government is there in Nevis right now, I see St. Thomas's Parish as being neglected because they haven't really won a seat in St. Thomas's for some time. And therefore, they're not pumping any money into the St. Thomas's district politically, from a political standpoint. So in my area in St. Thomas's, Cotton Ground per se, Livingston Sargent and Derek Parry, bro, up to this day, there is nothing in that village that's named after these guys, bro. And I've mentioned this several times before. I brought this to Mark's attention. I have a good personal relationship with him. But whoever on the Nevis end is responsible for sports, those two guys, Derek Parry, I think he played in 12 test matches and 4 one-day international before he went off to Kerry Packer, right? And when I was a little boy in the village, man, Derek Parry was very instrumental in training us and, keeping us on the positive side. And he was like, him and Sergeant both, my uncle, they were like my role models growing up in the village. And the ball field at the top of the village, the community center, and the streets in Cotton Ground, because Cotton Ground Village is very much laid out pretty good. And these guys can have the ball field, the community center, and streets named after them in dedication of these guys because of the work that they put in and their achievements. Okay, that's what I want happening in Cotton Ground Village. I want these guys to be recognized in their own hometown. That middle street, down in the middle street where Livingston grew up, that street down the middle of Cotton Ground should be named after him, and the community center. Derek Parry should probably get the name of the ball field and the main road from the area where they call Five Fenton down to the bottom of the outskirts of the village. With that said, I hope somebody's listening, and I hope that this stuff can happen for these two elder cricketers, man. I just got a picture of Livingston Sargent when he was playing on Combine Island. Man, I'm not gonna tell no lie, Jamster. Bro, I can take one of my pictures and replicate one of my pictures and put it next to Livingston, and you will see how closely we are in resemblance.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Look,
saying?
okay, Burl, I have to take another call. I don't want to, yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
You can
no
always
problem,
call
man,
back,
but,
yeah.
But real quickly, and the mural in Charlestown that's going on, and the East Willett Park, I need to see Derek Perry and Livingston Sargent erected on that mural as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much, man.
All right, great.
Thanks.
Caller, go right ahead. It's, okay, 9:32. Okay, let's take a quick break. We'll take a quick break and come back. It's a little bit of Nazi.
Until white people found condoms in the toilet.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Feel the magic happening. Campari. Taste.
Something incredible happens when Campari is mixed just right. Like Campari and orange juice poured over ice. Taste it. Try it tonight. Bitter, sweeter, better. Campari. Must be 18 years and older. Drink responsibly.
Nevis, anybody home? Now this is a story all about how the Corvette came and mashed downtown.
9:34. Phone lines back up. Don't forget, you can give me a call at 466-0989, 662-0989. Island T. I'm all in my lonesome, but not really because I got the phones. Caller, go right ahead.
Yes, I'm Jamstock. Good morning, and
Hey, what's up?
My good friend there from Nevis. First, Jamstock, I want to congratulate Dwyer on that. But I want to tell Dwyer, Jeremiah Louis and his brother Michael, he got to get on to a man like Hesketh Benjamin. If we need success out there, you understand just how Hesketh hold Ambrose's hand when Ambrose come on the scene and walk on him. He need a man like Hesketh Benjamin around him. And his father, if you're listening to me, my good friend, he better journey with he and he go by Hesketh and talk cricket. Because I'm sure Hesketh watch it. He trains. And Hesketh is a man play this game. And he love it to a passion. And I know he could bring around the youngster. The next thing I want to talk about is my good friend from Nevis who just was talking there. Derek Perry and El Comedo Willett and Livingston Sargent and the other Sargent. These guys ain't gonna get enough success with Mark, you know. Mark is a bad fellow. He carry politics deep. You understand what I'm saying? What the guy is saying is such a... Because you can't get E.T. Willett park over there. And that he was touching with Willett. A man who do so much. Is it damn forwardness but Willett ain't done enough? Where he about cricket? We never hear he make a ball team yet in Nevis. Never hear he name call. And Mark just messing up the fabric of Nevis. All because when it comes to Derek Perry and Willett should be holding hands in a photo going in go back. But Mark them by, hey, they better than me that you know. Better finish with it, you know. I could see it coming down. Anyway, Jamster, keep on doing what you're doing and give poor people the audience because we must get a say. Have a good morning.
Okay, same to you. Okay, 9:36. Still looking for your calls. We had Dwyer Astafan's commentary, which touched a lot of topics, which I think are important. Back to the phones. That's the core in the background. Code 50. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, good morning, Jamster.
Hey, what's up, culture?
Hey, cool, man. Boy, I'm glad to hear your voice.
What's so special about today?
Your voice is what you call vitality.
Is what?
Keep me smooth. Vitality.
Vitality. Okay.
Yeah, V.
Okay.
Vitality.
Okay. Must be the coffee.
Yeah, the coffee has something to do with it. And the way you absorb things. Heal the man jam down. Heal the man jam down, boy. Fire in like 8 cylinder. I too like jam down. I want to congratulate Dwyer for bringing up all those things in his commentary. And I wish that other people could do like Dwyer and speak out. Too many things, great things been happening in this country here, and they don't concern about it. You know why? It's like what the Bible says, where your treasure is there your heart is. And if they did treasure a lot of these things, like what do you talk about, the heart would have been in it, but they treasure themselves and other things. And why, like what Jam Dong said about our partner, knee with your arms, Floyd Wine, you know who is this? Mark ain't gonna do what he would like Mark to do. Because you're going to tell me El Comida Willet, he the first man raped down the gate, Babylon gate, and paved the way for all Leeward Island people now who making the West Indies team. There were great men out there could have made the West Indies team, but they didn't get the chance. But they couldn't stop El Comida Willet. And some more things should have been done to acknowledge and expose El Comida Willet and Lewington Sargent and Mr. Perry and all of them there. Now, well, the Louis brothers them, they're going to get all the moral support and whatever other support we can give them, because they too break down Babylon gate, bust down Babylon wall, and they make the way that other criticians now, who have been covering up under the rug, will get in, and they can't stop it because it is widely seen. So they can't stop us. So thankful to those guys who broke down Babylon gate and wall. Now let me say this last thing before I go. If we could get the phone operate when the police were there. But you know, she topic was so there was cell phone, using cell phone.
Yeah.
Well, we all know that, you know, those big wigs, them double tandem truck in America and all over the international world. They are wheelers. And if they got to pull a trailer behind them, then that makes it 18-wheeler. When you drive in those big wigs, there is a radio in the truck. And when you're going to speak to your home base or whosoever in another truck coming about whatever, there's a handset. You got to hook it off the hook, and press a button and speak into it. And then when you all conclude, you say, that's a radio 10-4, and you hang back up. So is there any law for those big drivers in those big trucks not to take up the handset and speak to it? Because that holding it in hand and speaking it just like you talking in a cell phone, that would have been my question. Anyway, thank you, Jamster. You're doing a good job. Keep it up.
Okay. All right, thanks.
You ain't selfish. Keep it up, Jamster. You're going good.
Okay. A little bit of that Culturama flavor. It's 9:41. Keep the calls coming if there's anything you want to weigh in on. Like I like to say, I'm alone but not alone, because I got the phones. Caller, go right ahead. Hey, caller. Go right. Hey, what's up?
All right, greetings in Jesus' name once more again. Now, first of all, I would like to say AG was speaking this morning on the homicides that happened during the week. During last week. And I would like to say concerning that, and that, number one, these evils and wickedness are happening because of, obviously, we are disobeying the word of God, which is the full truth. And because of that, we will not ever find the solutions. we would be just making things worse and worse. When government, for example, when government go beyond the God-given boundaries and start to disarm people.
But Gregory, how about we talk about this in practical terms rather than you just rehashing the same thing over and over? Because no one is listening. So how about we think about some more actionable, practical solutions rather than you guys are not using the Bible, so this is what's going to happen. Nobody wants to hear that. That's sad to say.
Yeah. Sad to say nobody wants to hear the truth, but it is the truth. It is. As a matter of fact, these practical things we are doing are really part of the problem that are helping to cause the crimes. They're not part of the solutions. They're part of the problem. And there is a day when the people going to regret not wanting to hear. You know, the people are going to regret it.
I'm not saying no.
Really no other answer.
No, I'm not saying no. I agree, but you know.
Mm-hmm. You know. They say repetition is the best teacher, and there's a lot of
somehow repetition. But for me, somehow repetition only seems to work with nonsense and lies. Doesn't seem to work with sense and truth for some reason.
But it eventually wins out, and he eventually wins out, and he eventually becomes
because the Gobelism the Gobelism that gets repeated, that you repeat. This was a trick pioneered by Goebbels, the propaganda czar for Hitler, where he said if you repeat a lie long enough, people will begin to think it's the truth. And like Trump, for example, is a master at that. So that's what I meant. I mean, you calling every day, week in, week out, saying, "Oh, if you don't do things the Bible," somehow that's not getting truth to people. I don't think.
Trevor, yeah, but sorry, Jamsa, whether they get you to people, yes or not, it's still the truth, and it's still the only solution.
I'm not.
That's what I'm trying
you're
to
not
say.
wrong.
It's still the only solution, and like I said, these practical things that we are doing, for example, government going beyond the biblical duty in disarming people and that sort of stuff, are actually part of the problem. And let me say this: another thing that should be done. We instead we follow America, we follow Europe, and so on. But as the Bible tells you, you're not supposed to find on basis of 2 or 3 witnesses. You execute them, and it's supposed to be done public. And the cases and so on are supposed to be tried public. We finish with these things practical, even though it's on the book. Practically, we finish with these things. So all of these things are causing the murders and the crimes. Not only that, we're bigging up people like Brian Messiah for his song Taliban and that sort of stuff. The government doing that. The government is actually sending a wrong message that encouraging crimes, including murder. And they need to take away that keys from the city that they gave Brian Messiah. They need to take down his picture and stop sending the wrong message to the people, especially to the youth. All of these things need to be done. Need to be done to really and truly fight against crime and to minimize it. And these are the biblical way to go. But concerning the other issue with Bush, sorry, not with Bush, with Joe Biden and with VP Harris and Trump and that sort of stuff. With all due respect, the racism from Biden and Kamala has been more than Trump, that come from Trump, that Trump has been accused of. And I can't see how people close the eyes to one, which a lot of it is really ignore the concept.
Gregory,
be more racist.
Gregory, I don't get you. What's this? What is this perverse?
Harris,
What is this perverse desire you have to dump on Biden and Kamala and but what about Trump? I don't understand. You say you don't. I really don't understand it.
The racism,
it's just very strange.
You all are closing your eyes to the racism of Joe Biden and Kamala, which has been far more worse than the racism Trump has been accused of. So, for example, you all talk a lot about Trump. Well, let me give a balanced view. Let me give the other view. Kamala Harris kept many, when she was Attorney General or something like that in her state, Kamala Harris kept many black men in prison over the release time to give her state free labor from these black men. And black people used to cry out against her for it. Nothing Trump has been accused of where racism is concerned. Come closer. Biden, like I said, his 1994 crime bill have destroyed a lot of black people, increased the incarceration of black people.
So you don't give anyone the grace to change. I mean, you said you're a proponent of the Bible and forgiveness and people and redemption and all of that. But you don't seem to want to give Mr. Biden any grace.
Balancing, no, you all only talk about the bad of Trump. You all don't talk about the bad of Biden. And somebody need to also do that to balance out what you all say with the truth. Yes, anybody can change. Anybody, and the worst man have changed by the grace of God.
I mean, I don't understand why do you want to be an advocate for such a despicable human being?
Well, if Trump is despicable and the racism of Biden and Kamala has been worse than Trump, then they are more despicable.
How is it worse than Trump? I don't understand.
Because
Trump was not a politician, but I can tell you about Trump's racist policies towards housing black people, where they would take the documents when people applied for apartments. They would put C on the documents, which means C meaning.
It's his father who would do that. Not
yeah,
Trump.
but he did that as well. Well, he did that as well.
No, when Trump was working as an apprentice under his father, when Trump took over the business, he changed that policy. He changed it.
Okay, so can you explain to me what black jobs are? And I want to take some more calls. I don't have any calls at the moment, but sometimes debating with you is exhausting because I really don't understand.
No, it's the truth, Trevor. It's the truth because
it might be the truth, but it might be the truth. But why? I mean,
let's say Trump was responsible. Okay, Kamala keeping black men in prison over their release time to give her state free black labor as prisoners. How could what Trump did come close to what Kamala did? Remember,
Trump was not a politician.
Well,
Kamala was a prosecutor.
Right.
She was a district attorney, and all of that.
So what did you say about that policy of her when Tulsi Gabbard destroyed her with all of those things in the debates that they had?
But Tulsi Gabbard,
yes,
but Tulsi Gabbard is another problematic individual. I mean,
why?
I don't understand. I don't understand why. What is this weird? What is this weird attraction to all these problematic people?
I am willing to say Trump did bad things. Trump lied and that sort of stuff. Even though a lot of what he said about Trump are really exaggeration and take note of context. But Trump is no angel. But what I'm saying is that you all every day calling Trump the worst man like he's a Hitler and them sort of stuff. And yet Biden and Kamala Harris, who did worse, including in the place of racism. Y'all keeping like there are some kind of angels. There ain't no angel. The hands.
I never said they're angels, but sometimes you
talk is like the
Gregory. Sometimes you have to hold your nose and vote, right? Which we do a lot of that.
You voting for somebody.
I've done that here. I've done that in our national elections. Yes, sometimes. Meaning, what I'm saying is, you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. There might be some.
If it is Rosemary, baby, you try it out too.
There are some things. There might be things you don't like about a particular candidate. You just have to tell yourself, okay, on balance, I might not. I mean, take for example. I'm going to use an American example. I mean, I never liked when Obama, leading up to his second term, sat down and decided he was going to do an about face on same-sex marriage and all that. I never liked that, but I told myself, well, if I was an American, that's definitely something I wouldn't approve of, but I not probably. I would have voted for him still, even though me and you have discussed this before. There are a lot of things that he advocated that I certainly did not approve of. I'm sure I know a lot of black people didn't approve of and don't approve of either. I can't think. There's probably just two things I could say Trump did that I think were on point. Whereas with Biden and what's her name, there might be a handful of things I don't particularly like.
But Trevor, also remember, Biden fought
So you have to-
against desegregating busing. Remember, Biden fought against desegregating busing. And one of the head of the Ku Klux, which was, I think, Robert Byrd, was Biden hero. Biden made it known that he was hero, and Biden fought against desegregation.
So Gregory, don't you have problematic friends? Gregory, any of us? But Gregory, is any one of us sinless, blameless, perfect?
I guess that don't apply to Trump. No, you only apply to Biden and Kamala.
No, I
It doesn't
don't.
apply to Trump.
To be honest, I am not a big believer in I'm not really a big believer in this this equal. There some things are more equal than others. I'm sorry. And Trump, as far as I'm concerned, Trump doesn't. I'm sorry, he doesn't deserve the grace. I'm sorry.
But he didn't fight against desegregating busing. Desegregation
Well,
of
but
busing. He didn't fight
he
against
deserves no grace in my eyes. I do not. Listen. I am not a fan of false equivalences and applying them to they told them no, they're not equal. Sorry.
But hold on. So hold on. So you telling me Biden fighting against desegregation busing is not as bad as what they accuse Trump in the area the housing of black people is concerned? Kamala keeping black people over the release time so that she said could get free black prisoners labor. You tell me that is not as bad as
maybe
okay,
that might be bad, but I
worse.
still think Trump is the worst. He's the worst in the end.
MSNBC and CNN News have done a good job on you.
No. I don't need them. Listen, I don't listen. You really think that these people can sway the way I think? No,
you're saying the talking.
No,
point.
no. I'm not.
Okay.
I can pick. I can pick.
YouTube called the Jimmy Dore Show. There's a show on YouTube called the Jimmy Dore Show. He don't like Trump, but at least he's
Trust
very
me,
honest in his
I have a
reporting.
lot of problems with CNN and MSNBC. I think MSNBC actually. I actually think MSNBC is a little too. They're a little. How should I put it? I don't think they're as balanced as they could be.
But did you know before Trump run, Carter and the other and those on CNN and MSNBC, they had Trump as the best friend? He was an angel to them before he started running.
Who?
All of a sudden, as he started running, he became the devil. They used to guy him on the show, bigging him up and that sort of stuff.
Well, he's still the devil. He was the devil.
Let me tell you,
He was the devil then.
Black entertainers, black rappers, black sportsmen, and so on used to admire Trump.
They're idiots too.
Huh?
They're idiots.
Everybody wanted to be like Trump in the black community.
Listen, they're selfish idiots because it all comes on to them paying. All it comes on to them is paying less tax.
He took a picture with Muhammad Ali and this other lady.
Gregory, I really need to wrap up this. I don't want to spend the remaining moments.
Yeah, but we must be honest. Trump is not an angel, and neither is Biden. Tulsi Gabbard, Kamala. None of them are angels. But they have done more racist stuff than what Trump has been accused of. To be honest.
But Trump is more of a demon. Yes, but Trump. I have to give the last word on this. Trump is more of a demon than anybody else. I'm sorry. Okay, callers. We have 4 minutes. No money matters this morning. Also, no voices. Socrates will not be able to make it today. Let's take a call. Caller, go right ahead.
Hey, Jam Stuff.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, man, I cool, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you is Job older brother, you know.
I don't know why you didn't call before because there was nobody calling, so I couldn't.
Yeah, I was calling, but then the machine said that the line is busy.
Really? Or you're probably calling the same line he was using. That's why.
I don't use the 0989466.
466. Okay, you should have tried 662. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean you tell him all your clock, Every day he coming out with the same thing. How many converts you were able to convince that what he's saying is the only way to go? How many of them? Some time ago, I asked him a question when he said that woman should not be in certain position. I said, okay, if you're going away and you get on the plane, and when you go up there, you realize the captain of the pilot is a woman, the co-pilot is a woman, and the navigator is a woman. What are you going to do if you don't come here and answer that, And some years back, he was right in Win FM when Nital was hosting the voices. And a popular lady called in, and he called the woman a racist to her face. And Nital tell him, no, you got to apologize, take back that. And he's so much of folly in the Bible way. And he offend the woman. He never apologized until now. Never. And that woman, if she listens, she could call in and say the same thing. So he going on like he's the only perfect person on the earth. Why? Donald Trump said, he referred to these countries down here. Once you're in America, he referred to as the S-whole country. And the caller is in it. And he's gonna praise up Donald Trump like he's an angel.
I just don't understand it. It's just wild to me.
Yeah. Anyway, let me let somebody else come in. Thank you,
Okay,
Jam,
all right.
Okay, Job.
Okay, caller, go right ahead. You're the last caller. Go right ahead. It's 9:59.
Yeah. 9:59. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Good morning, Damso.
Yeah.
That's a rabbit hole going down there with Craig.
I know.
It is never ever. You know one of the most offensive statements coming from Trump was this SO countries thing.
Yes.
Nothing. I mean, you can't get more offensive than that.
This guy should have been stopped. Listen, do you realize how many? Think of all the transgressions that have come out of this guy's mouth, and anyone else, they would have been stopped at the first or the second or the third or even the first. And this guy has the luck. This is what they call. He's a poster boy for having the luck of the devil.
There are some things you just don't say, what I would give Trump credit for is that he speaks what's in his heart, and that is what messes him up every time. Okay, because it tells exactly how he thinks and what is actually in his heart. And those comments like those, you can't just ignore. You're talking about the president of the United States.
But you can say the same thing about Biden to a point. But at least what's in his heart it's usually
reasonable.
Yes, reasonable. That's the word I was looking for.
Trump has no qualms about stepping on people, full stop. Okay, and their feelings, right? He has no right being president of the United States.
What's your take on the goings on yesterday?
Yeah. I mean, I always felt that from the beginning that he should have exited the scene, really and truly.
So what do you think?
You can't have the most powerful nation on earth being led by somebody in his condition.
So what do you?
I don't think so.
What do you think? So what Bakari Sellers made a point last night, which it was one of those light bulb moments because it was one of the factors I hadn't considered. He said that he said he got a lot of calls yesterday, people asking him, saying, well, Hillary Clinton wasn't good enough. What makes you think that these white people are gonna vote for Kamala Harris
The thing is,
what's your take on that?
I think America has changed. It hasn't changed all for the world. The thing about Obama's presidency is that he at least made it seem as if, well, if a black man is elected president, the sky is not going to fall in. That was one thing that
interesting.
And so similarly, it opened the door in a strange way to somebody like Kamala Harris being president. Okay, because I don't think people feel that the sky is. They may argue about her policies. I think it's going to be more about her policies than the fact that she's a woman and she's black. I strongly suspect too. If she runs a good campaign and shows how unfit Donald Trump is to be president, okay, and the what his policies would mean, that 2025 agenda and so on, what it's going to mean for America, I think she would win.
Well, interestingly,
and that would be the ultimate justice for somebody with misogynistic tendencies like Trump, to be defeated by a black woman.
And to get and I can't wait to see him get his ass handed to him at the debate with Kamala.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm salivating for that one. Okay, great. Okay, folks, that's gonna do it for today. So we're gonna have Kortensia and AZ back tomorrow. Once again, we have no voices today because Socrates is unavailable. I'm also unavailable, and he's also unavailable on Wednesday. I'll be doing voices on Wednesday. And we will not be having any Money Matters today either. So that's gonna do it for this morning's edition of Island Tea. Join us again tomorrow morning. Hope you enjoyed it.
Wet, I feel it running down on my neck. Don't know if it's water or sweat, but it's the wettest I ever get. And when the place get hotter than a furnace.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put your Magnum in the air now. From you a drink Magnum, make me see. Take charge of things now your place.